Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about how can you sing high notes as a bass or a baritone, as a lower voiced male. Because you might think that all the other guys who are on the radio, who sing pop and rock, and they can really go high with their voices, you might think, well, they're all just tenors and that's why they can do it. And I'll never be able to do that because my voice simply sits a lot lower. Well, there is some truth to it, meaning that it is way easier for a tenor to sing these notes. It's definitely possible for a baritone or a bass to learn to sing the same notes. And there are actually a lot of examples of baritones singing way higher up there and doing it in a great way. Just look at Axl Rose, look at Chris Cornell. These guys were not tenors and they could sing all the way up there, having basically almost an endless range. So how is that possible and how can you emulate that with your voice? What's really important to realize is that the way our voices are built makes it possible for everybody to learn to sing high notes in full voice. Because our voices, there are two vocal cords that we have. There's one pair of vocal cords, okay? And what our bodies can do with our muscles is it can do two crucial things. It can elongate the vocal cords and it can bring them closer together. And when we're going higher in pitch, it's exactly what happens. As you cross your vocal bridge, the vocal cords the larynx gets tilted, the vocal cords get stretched, and they come closer together. And that allows you to sing high notes in full voice, no matter what voice type you are. So a bass can sing an A4 in full voice. A baritone can sing a C5 in full voice, if you learn the right technique. So your voice classification, basically the timbre of your voice, the weight of your voice, does not determine the vocal range that you've got. You can work to get a bigger vocal range. It's definitely possible. And as we move higher in our range and approach our bridge, what will happen is that your voice needs to become smaller, the larynx needs to tilt, vocal cords need to be stretched, and they need to come closer together. And if you can do these things, if you can learn the coordinations, then suddenly a whole new world opens for you where you can start to extend your full voice vocal range. Once you learn to navigate your bridge, then suddenly there's so much vocal freedom that you've got to pick and choose the notes that you want to sing. And they're all going to be in full voice. If you do it correctly, you can do it without yelling, without straining, without killing yourself. It just becomes a second nature to you once you learn that proper technique. Now, the way that you can start building this is called the cry technique or the cry method. It's really good for finding a way that your voice can cross that vocal bridge of yours with really solid vocal cord closure without raising the volume and with using less and less and less air as you go higher. So what we want to do is we want to cry into the sound. You can even make the face like you're about to cry. You really want to aim the sound into the back of your nose, kind of like here, and you want to really like you're crying. And you can, using this method, cross your bridge quite effectively and without much problem as you get used to it. We're not going for a pretty sound here. We're going for vocal cord closure and really allowing your vocal cords to nicely stretch and give you access to that beautiful area of effortless high notes. What's important is that you don't splat the vowel. You don't want to open your mouth too much doing it. You want to allow the resonance to shift, really aim it into the back of your nose, and continue on with the crying. And your vocal cords will close very nicely and gently. And if you don't use too much air, you're not going to get very loud, and your voice is going to be solid, but it's not going to be overly loud, and you're not going to feel any pain. It's not going to hurt. If it hurts, you're doing it wrong. Just remember that. That's the general rule with singing. If it hurts, you're doing it wrong. So if it hurts, stop and give it another try later. And really, you need to search for that coordination in your own voice. And once you find it, you're going to see that it really changes everything. And baritones and basses can use that method to really extend their vocal range and find freedom and power in their higher voices. So I hope this helps you. Really experiment with this and let me know how you did in the comments. And I'll see you in the next one.